everybody was wanting us to comment on or talk about or whatever the heist movie that they filmed, the big Hollywood blockbuster motion picture summit meeting of the two Dons from it could be like in the old days. Instead of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, it could have been James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart, or Al Pacino and Robert De Niro,
or Leo Gorcey and Hunts Hall.
They met on the east side, there at the Bowery, where the dead end was, and the group of kids. I love this thing. Did you not like this thing? And The Rock bought them all 6 SUVs for the.
Yeah, really. I'm conflicted. I really thought it was well done, and I guess it's come out Paul Heyman personally directed it.
See, he has more in common with Alfred Hitchcock than you people realized.
I thought it was really good, but, I've thought this the last couple of promos about Cody, that he's starting to get too much into the talking like bullshit again. Like, no one's going to be able to relate to him pretty soon if he keeps talking the way he's talking. He's always wanted to be an actor. He excelled in this kind of thing. Roman Reigns, we've heard that he's wanted to be an actor. I think he's relying too much on his facial twitches and tics, and like, it's to the point now where I just don't buy it at all. They were both really good in this, but it was a fucking cinematic thing where as they're walking up, there's a camera behind them, and then you see them from the front, the camera's gone, and then there's a camera to the side, but then they show you that side. They immediately showed you everywhere the camera was in the previous shot, and there's no camera. So I have a problem with that. I don't like that kind of stuff mixed in with the wrestling, but as a little mini movie, like, I don't know, Thriller? I don't know exactly what.
And then they should have broke out in a zombie dance. Could you see Cody and Roman if they'd have done it? Doom, 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 doom. But here's the thing. I'm not offended by the cinematic presentation when nobody's having a fight. When it's not if they want to, because let's face it, this was a big time looking deal, and people don't even know what we're talking about. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes had a face-to-face meeting in Atlanta on the Georgia Tech football field where Roman had played football for Georgia Tech. And they have the drone shots now and all this shit of this row of black SUVs pulling up, like 6 or 7 of them, and Roman gets out of one, and I don't know who else was in every other one of them, and then Cody pulls up, and what kind of sports car was that, Mr. Last? You're a young person.
I don't know. I don't buy sports cars.
Was that a Lambert Datsun or a fucking...
It was a waste of money, I believe.
A Bentley Guinea?
Can't even declare that on your taxes like you can the big truck, but whatever. Waste of money.
Well, maybe it was a diesel engine, though. Remember when those were actually cheaper? Anyway,
see, that's what he should have done. That was the move. If he had showed up in like a fucking Honda Civic, Roman wouldn't have known what to think.
No, that would have been a Dusty thing.
Dusty would have showed up in a pickup truck.
Well, but it would have been an old pickup truck. Anyway, Cody pulls up in one sports car, but he's still wearing a suit. And they meet on the 50-yard line, but it made them look like stars. That's why it was like a heist movie. It was incredibly done, and it made them look, and you could see them in a fucking movie. And they didn't look out of place. I mean, try to put fucking Adam Page or one of those fucking weasels over there in a real legitimate fucking movie, and they'd be shaking like dog shit and peach seeds. And they weren't having a fight. It was a conversation, a summit meeting between these two guys that are going to have to coexist to work together on the team and the big show and what's going to happen and blah, blah, blah. And Roman came into it. Hey, let's get one thing straight. This is my football field. It means it's my stadium. It means it's my city. And then Cody came back with, no, on the other side of the stadium's Techwood Drive, and down the road is Center Stage, and over there's what used to be the Omni, and multiple generations of my family have bled for this city and in this city, and this is my home.
Multiple generations.
Well,
2.
but Dustin's older. Dustin's in the middle there. You might as well call him his own generation.
So you're not considering like Dusty's kids are the next generation, Dusty's generation 1, their generation 2. It's just every 20 years you're actually talking?
It sounded better. So anyway, when he said that, the one thing I liked the best about that was when he said that to Roman, all of a sudden, and this has got to be a Heyman. This was a Heyman. Roman kind of breaks and smirks and said, you know what? That impressed me. Okay, let's get down to business. And Roman had established that he could acknowledge that Cody got a pretty good line on him. So let's talk about what we're going to have to fucking do. And, you know, Roman's thing is the fight in the bloodline is dangerous. And he doesn't have anything to lose, but Cody does. And Cody, you know, it told him, he warned him, he'd be a chief without a tribe. And you gave him the whole, you know, fucking reality check about what was going on. So the Roman says, what do you want? What do you want? I want to know that I want your word that you're going to have my back, is what Cody says. And so Roman says, I give you my word. I'll have your back, but when it's done, I'm taking back what's mine, which is obviously the belt. And he starts to walk off, and Cody fucking steps in and says, it's not yours to take. And then Roman Reigns' last line is, you're in my way in life. And it was very, was that Scorsese-ish, or was that, you know, Hitchcockian?
I don't think either of those directors, those fantastic directors, I think he was just really good, but it was not either of their styles. You know, this is what Heyman wants. Heyman wants an Emmy. And if there was anyone in that company I would have faith in doing cinematic stuff, it's Heyman. And this was really good, and both guys are really good. I'm just not a fan of these kind of segments that bend reality on my wrestling shows. But they were good in it, and it was well done. And it looked great. I mean, it looked great. They really should make a heist movie. I'd watch that too.
You know, that brings to mind then how realistic, because I always hate the fake shot cinematic fights, right? But then how realistic can an interview get? How many multiple camera setups can we have? It looked seamless. We didn't have the idea that they were doing multiple takes. They got invisible cameras. You've seen the invisible camera people, haven't you?
They had multiple invisible cameras.
Cena has been, for 25 years now, going to all these cities around the country, impregnating these women, and that's where they're getting their troop of invisible cameramen. You just can't see them. Anyway, great stuff by these people. And Kevin Owens was in the back scoffing and walking off. He is not happy, or grumpy, or dopey, or Doc, or any of the other ones.